Welcome back to Motorsport Manager. Glad you returned, and starting with this video, any video that I put up could be the final one of the challenges. We're going to keep going 2 attempts at this race every time until I beat it. So the final All-Star Challenge is Battered and Bruised. Hard difficulty. Disaster struck after just the second corner in one of the wettest races in recent memory. No less than 13 cars have collided, forcing a race restart. Now as the lights tick down for a second time, most of the cars are ready to collapse. Can your expert pit strategy and driver management overcome the odds? Okay, we must have both drivers finish at least second or above. We need to take the top 2 spots. That's no margin for error. We get a new WMC livery if we succeed. And yes, it's just a 1 race length. So we're in our den, normally a moderate length track. Of course, we're pretty darn familiar with this one by now. And one of the things I think is the most difficult about single race challenges, there we go, restatement of everything, is the fact that you don't have anything you can change from a management point of view. You're just sort of stuck with it as it is. So if we look at our field here, we can see that a third of the field has retired. So we are effectively in 7th and 8th out of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay, out of 13. So let's get to know everything before we take off and try anything here. We are Jerome Racing. We're in 6th place of the current season. Looks like it's well underway. Our drivers are 11th and 12th overall. So we are distinctly average with David Hall and Raynor Schmidt. Don't think I've run into them before. Okay. Our weather. It's dry now, but it's going to start raining soon. And only 27 laps for us to get through. And yeah, so we're definitely going to want to be on inters, which is an issue because Schmidt is not. So that's troublesome. We have light-footed wet tires, race trim, and +1 braking, +1 overtaking. Schmidt, light-footed super soft, race trim, and +1 to fitness. Well, that much rain, I think I've probably got to send Schmidt in right away. Take a look at our condition. It's pretty good. And we've got a full amount of fuel. So I think we can afford to be aggressive here at the beginning. With only 27 laps, I'm assuming these aren't going to go down that fast. So we can probably be as aggressive as our fuel will allow. Okay, so let's definitely go to overtake on fuel. And I don't know what our tires are like, but let's go with this. And actually, no. Schmidt, I'm only going to go with you medium on fuel because I'm going to want you to pit right away and get onto inters. So I don't want to burn up the fuel getting positions that I'm just going to lose. But go ahead and burn those tires. Hall will burn both. He's at 4.8. Schmidt is at 7. So hopefully that keeps up when he comes in. See, track grip, nothing. So I think we're ready to give this a shot. Let's see what happens. And here's Schmidt. Kind of a strange view here that they're giving us. Let me tilt up the camera a bit. I think we'll stick with that. And a lot of these liveries looking very basic. Okay, Schmidt back to 10th. And Hall up to 7th. Good, keep it up. Okay, let's see about getting you some... Yeah, we got plenty of other tires in here. Let's see about getting you some better tires, first of all. And, okay, it looks like the water's going to come down, but that would still be several laps on inters. I don't think that's going to be useful. I think I want you to come in, and if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But, you know, part of the first race is just feeling this stuff out, and we definitely want to see how Hall's doing. And still a couple cars ahead that are on super softs. I think I'm a little bit too far overhead now. Let's try that. That seems to be more, because I just get used to the way it's presented normally. So Schmidt still figuring to come in. Hall fighting for positions, moving up between cars and getting to 5th. And looking to make a move on 4th as he gets across the first finish line, so that's nice. Alright, let's go ahead and go medium for the moment. And really? There's a few drops of rain in the air? You just know stuff. Okay, you're going to come out. Yeah, you're in 13th. You're way behind. What's the temperature? It's really cool. Even so, like, I'd rather save the pushing until you run into traffic. So let's just stick with mediums for now. For Schmidt. Whereas Hall is working his way towards the front, hopefully. And yeah, the rain definitely looks like it's going to stop, though we don't know for how long. Oh, and there goes Patrick O'Sullivan crashing. That was one of the drivers ahead of us. Okay, so there's only 12 drivers left. And Hall is in 3rd, 3 seconds back. Question is he going to catch... Yeah, he's catching Gruber. So this is all very, very good for him. And where are we compared to the 11th place driver? Yeah, we're catching him, so just chill out. Go on average until we start getting into traffic. Let's take another look at the weather. Okay, it's going to let up and then go back up. So we're going to want to stick out on these tires for a while. Let's go back to neutral, and we're not close enough yet. Let's go mediums on both. And Hall is just going to hope to hang on to this position. There's Esposito moving ahead of Gruber. And, alright, now it's definitely at this point to overtake and push. Let's get by, make sure we make this pass quickly. Yep, there it is. Okay, now let's go back down to mediums. Now Hall's in great position. The question is on Schmidt, who's 10th. Still, that's ahead of Bologna and Hoga. And what do we got? Okay, 14 seconds. So we're just trying to conserve everything until we get a better sense of the weather. And looks like it's going to get worse. We may have to switch to wets, and if that happens, we'll go more aggressive on the tires towards the end of this stint for sure. I got to see a little bit more about how it's going to do, but I'm going to go push on the tires here for Schmidt. Just work on getting that temp back up and use a little more speed. Probably be good to go high on the engine as well. I don't want to fry it, but let's just use more speed and catch up to the pack a little faster. So we're staying just ahead of Schmidt. We're behind Esposito. But it looks like we're maintaining a pretty much the same distance running on mediums. Let's see, how are we looking here now? Yeah, that's gonna the water is going to spike. So that looks like it's happening around like lap 11 maybe we'll want to come in. That being the case, let's go push on the tires with both drivers. I don't want to push on the gas with Hall from where he is. Let's push on the tires, and we may go more aggressive when we get there. Let's see what that does to our gap here with Esposito. Pretty similar on tire wear, I think. Well, let's not guess. Let's know. 61%? 63%. Okay, so he's got a little bit more tire than we do. We're going to want to come in for wets, and I think you had a wet tire bonus. Yeah, they wear more slowly for you. Schmidt with his fastest lap of the race, which is nice, and he's in 9th, coming up quickly on a couple of dry tire guys. I think I'm going to keep him doing right what he is. He should be able to... Look, there's Schmidt going wide. Okay, now that gives us a gap back there. But we're hanging out about 2 seconds or just under behind Esposito. So we're going to have to try to make a move there eventually. I think we're looking at a one-stop race and then wets unless it dries out more later. And here comes Schmidt looking to make that pass, and does, up to 8th. Now Hall catching Esposito, 1.6 seconds behind, as Schmidt up to 7th. And is progressing as well, but 20-some seconds behind. The question is, how do we make up that gap in 20 laps? We've got a long distance ahead to cover. And Schmidt is actually not catching DeGraaf. Well, now we are. So lots of open track to use. And now we've got the water going back down a bit. Staying now about 1.5 seconds back. And these tires are going quickly. But we've only got a few more laps to go. We can always drop back down to neutral if we have to. But I like being on push right now. .2 seconds. So Hall is right there. And Schmidt is, making progress, but not fast enough. I think I want to go attack for a lap or two. Again, I'm just trying to make up some more time, and I've got the tires to burn to do it. How long are the laps going here? Yeah, over 1.5 minutes, so at least they're long laps. I think I can get a couple more turns out of this pace. That's probably about it. Go push. Now with Hall, I've got to decide whether I'm going to... Where are we at now? Yeah, we're going to want to come in soon. And can I wait a full one more lap? And I don't think so, the way the water's going. We're going to pit now. We're going to go for wets. It says 16 to 18, but he's got the wet tires wear more slowly deal. Yeah, and yeah, nothing but fully wet the rest of the way, it looks like. Could go for a... It says only a 2%. And if that would save us a second, I think it's worth trying, because we could get up to first potentially there. Schmidt. I think I've got to try with you, because you don't have the light-footed thing. I think I've got to try to go around one more time. Because otherwise, I think you're going to have problems making that last set of tires last. Well, you know what, maybe I just... What's the temperature going to be? The temperature's going to be cold, so I'm going to have to push them some. Yeah, I don't like staying out here on inters at this weather, but I also don't like the other option. Yeah, soon. Just not yet. I've got to get another lap out of you. And now let's go neutral. And we're in 6th. But more importantly, who else went in? Nobody. I should be able to go faster than them now. But I want to be ahead. I'm going to go to high because I want to be ahead when they come out. And now Schmidt is going to come in. And we'll switch down to neutral on the tires. Because they're about up at the red zone, so pushing them further isn't going to do me any good. So Hall, I think pitting at the optimal time really going to help. Up to second and now first. Yeah, and Hall's going to have a nice lead here. The problem we've got is Schmidt. Schmidt has to make up 20 seconds, and I don't think that's going to happen. Now at this point, the tires are going to weaken. Let me go with low and push. And what I want to do is I want to increase the tire temp, have them catch up, and try to do the backup thing to slow them down. So, I think I know how to get Hall to the front. The question is, how do I do it with Schmidt? And I can keep pushing pretty much the rest of the race with this fuel. I plan on doing that. I can push the tires some later. We've got 19 seconds to gain. And Esposito is falling behind Hall. It's like I can't go slow enough. actually going too fast for my own good. Of course, if I lower the tire temperature, then I can't. So I'm just going to stick on low for Hall. And Schmidt, you just got to keep going around. Right now, 15.5 seconds. No, 19.5. And gaining, but not gaining fast enough. Gonna have to push the tires some to keep the temperature up. Might as well do it now. And I wonder if the other cars are gonna burn out their tires. That's really his only, because his tires are fresher than most of these, by I think like 80% here. Esposito 75, and he's going to have a hard time staying out there till the end. So I think that's the deal. If we're going to make it, that's how it's going to happen. Because we're gaining a little bit. Switch to neutral. And we're at 76 there. Let's see how much we get at neutral. How much wear. We got to get 12 laps out of these. This is clearly not working for Hall, so I'm just going to drop the temperature. %. If I could run them on neutral the whole time, maybe I'd have 11% left at the end of the race. No, 16%. And I'm not going to be able to do that. So it's going to be even less than that. It's going to be probably at about 10. But if I'm at about 10, then they're going to be like on nothing. So that's really my only hope here, is that they just have to pit. All or almost all of them have to pit, and I can get by them right at the end. And that may actually work out. Since this strategy is getting me nowhere with Hall, just going to boost him up to medium. And this race, I mean, Hall's going to win. So I would normally be thrilled to death with that. But the problem that I have is I have to get second place also. So this race is all about Schmidt and nobody else. Down to 18 seconds, so he's very slowly catching them. And if they have to pit, I think I'm close enough now. The pit stop seems to gain between 20 and 25 seconds on this lap. So if they have to pit, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be fine. But they may not. So see, we started at about 80% on the parts. We're 2/3 of the race done. So it's going to be close on some of these parts whether I can push the rest of the way. I think I want to I'm gonna go back to medium and only push when I need to, I think. "17.5 seconds is the gap to Esposito. Catching him slowly to the point I think I'd be at least 10-12 seconds behind at the end of the race. At least Schmidt's driving well at 7.6. That's nice. Eight laps to go. Yeah, I think I'm going to be in single digits by the end of this for tire wear. I really do. The temperature's not going to get any better, but it is going to dry out. That's interesting. It's going to dry out right at the end. That's going to slow everybody up because we're all on wets. Not necessarily going to help anybody, relatively speaking. Got enough room there to go down to neutral for a bit. Seven laps to go. Okay, we're at 44. Esposito, 42 on the tires. Boy, he hasn't used as much as we have. 41, 43, 40, 40. Yeah, 37. Oh, that's a mistake. So their tires are not. They're a little bit worse. Only a couple percent. On the other hand, it's really rare for them to get under 10% and still stay out there. So, I don't know. Don't know if that's going to work for us or not. Still over 17 seconds. Cars behind us pitting. I mean, maybe the track will dry out enough that they'll want to pit for that reason too. But again, it really all depends on what the AI does here. Oh, and you're getting low. You got to push. Five laps to go and we're at 33%. So we've probably got about 3 laps of driving on the red. 16.5 seconds the gap, gaining but slowly. 4 seconds to the next driver, DeGraff. But DeGraff's tires are worse. DeGraff's already in the red. Nope. Don't even think about it. So DeGraff goes in and we're up to 6th. With 4 to go. Gap is 16 seconds, continues to shrink very slowly. No. I don't want to risk anything. For the last 3 laps with Schmidt, I'll probably speed it up. We're now at the point where inners are better. Oh, believe me, I'm aware. And yeah, we're going to be down to single-digit crawling style. Let's go neutral. Conserve them as much as we can. Esposito went wide. Oh, that's huge. That means if Esposito pits, it's over. Well, Esposito and Schmidt would both have to pit. Esposito not showing any signs of it. Other Schmidt not showing any signs. We're at 16, 20% for Schmidt, 21 for Esposito. Somehow they are doing better on their tires. And that's not good. They're probably just better drivers, what that is. Oh, and here comes Dufour, and it's going to go by us like crazy. So it doesn't matter. I mean, because Dufour is not going to pit. We're not going to make it. Let's just see what Esposito does. Okay, so I don't see any way to get Schmidt caught up without, I mean, a lot of luck doing that early pit. Got to try to... The only thing I can think of is try to keep him out there on the mediums, or on the super softs at the beginning. So let's just see what happens if we do that. Okay, so he does have the light-footed super softs. The problem is just being on wet tires and going up against other cars that don't have it is going to cause problems, but I don't see where we've got much of a choice. So I think fry the tires at the beginning, keep the engine on neutral, and then push it later when you've got tires appropriate for conditions. And then meanwhile have Hall try to do what he did the first time. And goodbye, so now we're up with Hall. If Hall does as well as he did the first try at this race, he's not a problem. Big if. Schmidt back in 10th. He's going to fall behind. The question is, does he fall 20-some seconds behind? Or can he keep it closer than that? Hall back to 9th. And up to 8th. So yeah, Hall not doing quite as well on this go-round. He was like almost 4th. But he's not far from that actually here. Schmidt holding his own, at least with some of the cars. Nope. Yeah. Gruber's crashed. "12 cars left in the field. We're 4th and 5th or 6th or something like that." Yeah, 5th and 6th going into lap 3. Okay. Medium and push for Hall. Let's do the same for Schmidt, I think. Actually, Schmidt, go ahead and go high. I think we lost a spot to do for that we didn't need to there. Alright, back to 7th. Well, Fisher is next behind, so as long as that's the case, go back to medium. Esposito out in front again. O'Sullivan is in 2nd. And there's Hall getting into 4th. Yes. Got by O'Sullivan. Okay, so now all Inter's cars ahead. And we're just going to see what we can do with this. Meanwhile, Schmidt in 8th. But the cars on Inter's passing me I don't care about. I just need to stay ahead of Fisher. I think when I have to switch to neutral, that's when I want to push, to just sort of maintain that spot. I'm already 12 seconds back. That's not going to get any better condition-wise. See, and I don't know that this is... I don't know that this is a superior thing to what I was doing before. I mean, I feel like if I started Schmidt out, Schmidt started the race on Inters. If I could make that happen, I'd be fine. And Hall having trouble with a Delta 4 now. Let's go neutral. And Schmidt... Oh, the person that was right behind has gone in. Okay. But Schmidt just losing distance too fast. This is, I mean, time-wise, this is going to end up worse. So that's not a solution. And, yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any point in playing this out any further. I need to give this another shot. I'm going to come back and do that a different day when I've got a fresh perspective on it. I've given it a couple tries here. I just got to find a way to get him, to get Schmidt in and out with that quick pit stop. And then manage to, you know, stick with everybody else. And, you know, catch up that gap. I don't know how to do it. But so that's, to me, that's the heart of this challenge. That's where the rough part's going to be. It's not with Hall, it's with Schmidt. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll be back with more of that and hopefully come up with a better way to approach it in some aspect. Till then, thanks for watching. More Motorsport Manager.